Maximizing your car accident settlement really isn't rocket science. When it comes down to it all, the main things that you have to be able to do is demonstrate what your injuries are and make sure that you have an attorney that can assert your rights and demonstrate your injuries to the insurance company and potentially file a lawsuit if one is needed. In most personal injury cases, whether it's an auto accident, whether it's a dog bite, whether it's a slip and fall, there's always an issue of how badly you're hurt. And in Michigan, just like every other state, the insurance companies want to know if your injury is going to be permanent or severe before they are willing to pay any kind of large compensation. And a lot of times what happens is that people will be hurt badly, but they will not go to the doctor. Or if they go to the doctor, they're not willing to follow through with the treatments. Or alternatively, maybe if they're going to treatments and they're doing all of this, they've really not chosen the right attorney that knows how to actually make the claim and get the insurance company to pay what they're responsible for. And so the main secret is to get the treatment that you need and to go through with that treatment. So many times I see clients that, basically say, well, I've gone to my family doctor and they're recommending that I go follow up with a neurosurgeon to see what's going on with my back, but I don't really want to do that. Or my doctor's recommending that I get injections and that I do physical therapy, but it's not something that I really want to do. Well, the problem is that if you don't go through with these treatments, the insurance company just treats your complaints of pain as if they're subjective and they don't really matter. Insurance companies look at what type of injury you have only through the medical records. And if the records don't reflect your injury, they're not going to believe you. And even if you file a lawsuit, you're going to run into the same problem because the defense attorneys likewise are going to find that if you aren't getting the treatment, that it's going to be difficult to prove your injuries. So this is step one to maximizing your compensation after an automobile accident. The next one is making sure that you actually take pictures of your car or yourself or any other injuries that you have, because there's always going to be an element of how bad were your injuries to you, right? This subjective idea makes a little bit of difference because if you don't have the medical injuries and you don't have a great story to tell about how your injuries have affected your life, it's going to be difficult to convince anyone of your pain and suffering. And so you really have to be able to articulate how this has changed your life, whether you can't go to work anymore, or you can't play with your kids, or that your wife or your brother or whoever has to help around the house now because you can't do the things that you used to do, or that you used to enjoy going out doing walks, but now you can't and you're stuck at home and you're taking pain medications and falling asleep in your chair in front of the TV as opposed to doing the things that you like. Making sure that you can tell this story effectively and keep track of those things is really going to help you and your attorneys prove the damages in your case. And there's also a matter of proving who's at fault. And depending on what type of case you have, whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall or a dog bite, you really need to have evidence that the other person is at fault. Sometimes if it's an auto accident, pictures help, or a police report will help, or body cam footage of what the police officers did, or if there's a dog bite, knowing where the bite actually occurred and making an animal control report. All of these things are important to make sure that the right party is at fault and that the insurance companies aren't going to blame you for the accident or for your own injury. So across a wide spectrum, these are the things that you have to do to maximize your settlement. And so it's important to prove damages, prove the other person's at fault, and make sure that you can articulate your problems and the way it's affected your life. And make sure you get an attorney that knows how to assert your rights and make the insurance company pay.